Welcome back to another episode of the Oshay Vlogcast. I am your host, Oshay Duke Jackson. I am honored as well as have a very, very, very good privilege to have the one, the only, the esteemed African-American black male documentary and filmmaker, Al Greeze from Greeze Films. He created the Frustrated Black Men in Brazil, the epic controversial documentary. He's with us finally. It took me about 3 to 4 months that we both could finally meet and come together on this. But welcome to the hangout, brother. I'm glad to have you. How you doing today?
Oh, good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
You just do such an epic presentation. I saw Frustrated 1. I rented Frustrated 2. I believe I got it from Amazon for a day. You do so much work in giving black men a voice as far as the documentary film is concerned. What drew you into making these type of films in the first place?
You know what, man? It's funny. After leaving film school and not having that rich uncle where you can go tap his pockets, for a couple of grand, and I didn't like the fact that I was idle, just sitting there not doing anything. So the key for me was being productive and staying productive. So I took on projects financially that I can handle myself. And doing these kind of documentaries, well, I really didn't have to pay for the talent, but I paid for the crew and all the equipment, but you can go out and interview guys. So it didn't kill your budget as far as the trying to find talent-wise. You can interview guys that's going through personal situations and want to share their stories. So that helped tremendously that I had people willing to come out and share their story because there was no outlet for guys to tell their stories and stuff that they were going through. So that helped a lot. And then, once I started, I didn't realize the impact that Frustrated would have. I've been to Brazil a couple of times. I had didn't have any visions of creating a project there. I was just going and having a little fun, a little downtime until I met a gentleman in DC. And he sat down and I was like, yeah, man, I just came from Brazil. He was like, wow, man, you should do a documentary on that, man. Did you read that article? And I said, what article, man? The article Essence put out. Totally false, totally different what I just experienced. And then that got me to do Frustrated. And from there, we just kept moving.
Talk to me about the article that Essence put out about black men going to Brazil, if you can.
Yeah, I can't call the name of the article. I think it was Blame It on Rio or something like that. And the article basically said that black men who travel overseas and who traveled in that region were just sex tourists and sex predators, just going over there to take advantage of the sex trade and stuff over there. And I read his article, and I went back, and that's when I met brother Johnny Johnson, John Johnson's brother from New York, who actually lived there, moved out there, and he's been staying there for the last 10 years. And I did a little research, and he actually stayed on a 1 block radius. Didn't travel outside, and I know Essence had more resources than I did. So if I was able to stay there for 2 weeks and travel and interview guys who actually moved there, John Thompson, Johnny Johnson, a couple other brothers that moved there, I knew that article was biased. Essence had way more resources than I did. So we stayed out there, man, and grind and found some brothers and let them tell their side of the story. It totally contradict with the nonsense that Essence had put out.
Let me ask you this. I watched Frustrated 1, and I came across your actual channel. Before I was even YouTubing, I was watching a guy named The Charles Tyler Show. He didn't put out a lot of content, but before I even made a first YouTube video, I was watching him because I was coming to Poland. I wanted to see other black men's experience overseas, and I found you through him. Then what happened is I bought Frustrated 2. And then I told Obsidian, like, have you heard of this guy named Al Greeze? And then Al Greeze, you and Obsidian had an interview, and something that was striking that I heard in that interview, you said that you took this film, which were both well done, very masterfully done. Some of the best documentary work I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, thank you.
The film to BET and other networks, and what did they tell you?
Basically, they wasn't interested in the content, and I had an insider at BET. So when I went to BET, I went to the kind of like the upper management there, the guy that brought me in there, and he sat down and let me see what you got. I heard about you. Let me see what you got. And when I came back, we had the conversation. He said the content wouldn't fit the BET format. You need more women. You need more women telling their side of the story and not putting men in the forefront of it. So they wanted me to kind of switch the whole project around, which I refused to do, and it collapsed right there. I had another some insider at TV1, and basically said the same thing. They just didn't like the content, didn't feel like the content wasn't suitable for the format that what they had going on. So when I went back and kind of look at the format they had going on, they more catered to women's shows. And what we were trying to do wouldn't work there.
Let's talk about the impact of Frustrated 2, which was a lot different than Frustrated 1. I think Frustrated 1 more was concerned about what Black men were going through. But Frustrated 2 talked about the evils of the child support system, and you interviewed not only Black men, but you interviewed, this time you went mainstream with it. And it was a very, very interesting project. Tell me what the feedback was from Frustrated 2.
Well, the feedback for Frustrated 2 was totally different, but like you said, it was more inclusive. So it's not just Black men, I had white men and different ethnics involved. So when I went out to did viewings and had shows, I had not only men, but women, especially white women, who have had their grandchildren taken away from them through the system and haven't seen their grandchild and the whole child alienation thing going on, and actually spending exorbitant amounts of money with their son, trying to fight to keep them out of jail or keep them or having access to their children. A lot of them realize, a lot of women, especially women, realize, the single moms realize, when your son gets in trouble with the child support industry and he can't, falls behind for whatever reason, moms wind up fitting the bill for that, coming in and trying to keep the son out of jail, catching up on the payments, and also getting access to the grandchildren. So it was different, except a different audience, a much broader audience, and so it was received well. It was received well, but I still had that little group, that came back and you bashing women and you doing this and you doing that. So we didn't pay them any mind, but it was accepted. It was well accepted.
What offers? So in Frustrated 2, did you shop this movie or documentary around to anybody else like you did in the beginning?
No, I decided. I decided that I could do with Amazon, and that was the best route because I knew what I was up against, and I wanted to get the content out there and not go up against that. So sooner or later, I felt as I continue to put out content and continue to do what I'm doing, there would be an outlet for this stuff. It'll get there. So I didn't want to waste resources, wasting time banging on the same old doors. So I have put this out, and hopefully some new doors will open up. And the more we create content, the more we keep doing what we're doing, we'll be all right.
Right, and I'm a supporter of you. In fact, you're taking donations right now for Frustrated 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what we want to do, guys. I know, probably tired of asking, hey, donate. But here's the thing. I'm going to do a donation of myself to Greeze Films. It's my first time donating. I've donated, before. I'm going to actually donate right now for those of you who want to see Frustrated 3 come out. Now, listen. We have Black male media outlets, okay? And one of them is people like Al Greeze, a guy who's severely talented. He doesn't have to make these types of movies for you, okay? He doesn't. And they don't want to hear your voice out there, all right? But the thing is, he does. He puts up his own money to do it, okay? And just like we want to have things like the Negro Manosphere. We want to have things like that. You guys need to, also support Greeze Films. For whatever reason, I'm having a little bit issue on the site, but actually donating. But you guys can do so. Okay, he's a proven guy. He's not telling you, hey, give me the money for a documentary and don't put it out. The man has already put out 2. Okay, and a 3rd one. And I'm gonna definitely. And I've talked to him about this. I'm gonna be making sure that it comes out, whatever the budget is. I'm gonna put my money up on it also. So we need more black men making things like this available. If you give $2, if you give $3, whatever, how much money you want to give, support people like Al Greeze. Al Greeze is a door opener for the brothers. Okay, he has a good amount of information. He can tell you how to get over the brick, all kind of stuff. Right? This is the kind of information that you guys need to be listening to instead of just niggas mad at, oh, fuck this hoe, fuck. No, this is a way you guys can get out. Guys like Charles Tyler and Al Greeze, these guys are your people that have went out there and spent the money and been to different countries, and it can tell you how to live a better quality of life, all right? So those of you who can, make sure that you will over to Al Greeze. I see the Angry Man channels in here. He's telling the same thing. Make sure that you donate to Al Greeze. Make sure you watch and go order his videos. You can get frustrated. How much is it on Amazon?
You can rent it for I think it's $5.99. It's $5.99. You rented it for $5.99.
Okay.
And then we also have the hard copy. If you want to buy the hard copy, is at $19.99.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do by Monday, it should be up. I'm putting up Frustrated, the first documentary. For those who haven't seen it, it's going to be up at Greeze Film. You can watch it for free, total thing. You can go, those who haven't seen it. So that'll be up on the site as well. And shout out to the Angry Man.
Yeah, you see him? You see him in the chat?
Yeah. Shout out to the Angry Man.
Okay, let's talk about this, Brother Greeze, because I know that you've been to Brazil, and I know you and Charles Tyler have a really good relationship. In fact, that's how I found you. You didn't even know I was a YouTuber at first. I actually reached out to you first, and I was like, hey man, check me out on YouTube, and then you start checking me out on YouTube, and then I actually found you in his group, Black Men in Brazil. Tell me what your experience is, because you've been to Brazil. I don't know how many times. How many times have you been?
10 plus. I've been a bit over 10 times.
10 plus. What are these brothers missing out by not going to Brazil in your experience?
Well, first, let me shout out to Charles Taylor. He hit me up too. He was inspired by after watching Frustrated, and that made him go out to Brazil. And he came back and he put that whole Facebook group together, and then invited me in and said, hey man, this is what Frustrated has created. And he brought me into that group. So shout out to him. And as we speak, he just moved to Brazil. Charles Taylor just moved last week. He lives in Brazil now. Mm-hmm. So he got out the Matrix. He's living in Brazil. So shout out to him. I think what brothers are missing out on, and like I said in one of the blog article that I did, traditional women. Those women there are women, and their values are traditional. So by them showing loving, caring, and that aspect of that in a relationship, that's there. So you don't get that combativeness that you get here. They value as a man, respect you as a man. That is given. You don't have to prove that you're a man. Mm-hmm. That's giving there. So when you meet a young lady, showing your net worth and who you are, they exclude all that stuff. So they want to get to know you, and they treat you like you deserve to be treated. You deserve to be treated. I've gotten brothers that hit me up, man, and especially like the officer, James Dudley, that just came back. I met him before he went. And when he came back, he was, he's sad, man. He's depressed. He got to come back here and get back in that rat race deal with the women he's been dealing with, man. And matter of fact, I got to hit him up, man. We're going to have dinner tomorrow. And he's depressed right now, man. So he needs a shoulder, man, somebody to talk to, man. But they're missing out on a whole totally different experience of life. Mm-hmm. And that's what it comes down to.
Let me play the devil's advocate, because you always and also shout out to my man Dean Fambro. Thank you guys. I got a $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for the support, and keep liking the video. We got 119 watching, so you guys must have knew that Al Greeze was coming today. So get the likes up, support the video by just simply going by and liking this particular stream. Okay, because you know Al Greeze is a very busy man. He took time to come out and talk to you brothers today to give you some information. So let's reward it by liking the video so as many brothers, many black men can see it. He's definitely a champion for you. He's out there working when you're not even thinking about things for you. Okay, giving you he's an innovator in his field. He's a black male doing documentaries for black men. That's unheard of in today's market. So let's reward the brother by liking the video so everybody can see and bring more traffic to his work. Now, let me kind of go over this. You've also been to Brazil and you said Colombia also, right?
No, we're going in Frustrated 3. We're going over Colombia. Okay. In Colombia yet. We're going to film over in Colombia.
Okay. Let's talk to us about Frustrated 3 and what's that about, and why are you choosing Colombia versus Brazil?
Well, we're going to go back to Brazil. We're going to show the impact of Frustrated 1, the impact that Frustrated had, and brothers traveling to Brazil, going out and kind of changing their values. You know, you have to change your values here in the States, man, to go ahead and get your passport, get your paperwork in order, and to look at something new. So we're looking at the impact that the group has had, that the Facebook group has had because of that documentary. We hooked up with some brothers in Brazil that's going to show you how, if you're interested in moving there, how you make money there, how you deal with the markets there, what's available to you, ranging from the cost of living there. So, and we're going to do the same thing in Colombia. We're going to go in and examine in Colombia and see what Colombia has to offer as far as the markets, jobs, cost of living, and the women there too. Okay. So we're going to interview some women there too. So we're going to do the same thing that we did in Brazil, but we're going to do that in Colombia. Okay.
And so, because Chance Rogers was talking about, well, what about the jobs and things of this nature? Chance, what I'll do is you need to join, I believe, for all of the information. I don't know, Al Greeze, are you an admin in Charles's group?
Yes.
You're admin in Charles's group. Yes. Okay. Let me give you guys the link, because Charles Tyler is doesn't do a whole lot of YouTube videos, but man, he's an excellent content creator. And like I said, Al Greaze's video is what got him to go and start a Facebook group. There's over 14,000 members in there, so it's a public group. Al Greeze is the admin in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post that link. So Chance, if you're in there, click on the actual group, facebook.com Afro, and you can click to join the group. And I'll let Al know if basically they don't accept just anybody. So if you want to let Al know or me know, I can give you maybe information on Facebook, and he can tell them that you're in the group. But let me ask you, why did you choose Colombia versus Venezuela or Costa Rica or any other place?
Well, we were going to go look at Thailand, and then I got some feedback and logistic wise, the flight over there, it's too long of a flight, it's too long of this. So I got some good information on Colombia as we was beginning research, and guys started hitting me up and giving me information on Colombia. So I decided to, it's a shorter trip. It's more convenient for brothers to get over there. So I decided to look at Colombia. The language is a little similar between Portuguese and Spanish. So it's different, but it's a little similar. So what brothers can navigate, if you know a little Spanish, it'll help you out in Brazil. If you know Portuguese, it'll help you out in Colombia. Mm-hmm. So we looked at a situation where guys could be successful in traveling. I didn't want you to go to a place where you felt out of place and you didn't know how to navigate through there. So we had a lot of connections in Colombia, guys that's going to show you how the market works, how you make money, looking at this and looking at the cost of living. So that's why I came down to Colombia, because of the resources we had in Colombia.
Perfect. Let me give a shout out to Charles Gilmore. Man, thank you, man, for the $20 super chat. That brother is selling some heroin or something, because he got all kind of money, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. So thank you guys for donating the super chat. Keep the likes coming up. We have a great guest. Let me also ask you this: Frustrated 3, will there be a Frustrated 4? And if so, where do you think that will take place at?
Well, I think that depends on the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the support is there for Frustrated 3, that will allow us to do another one. Of course I will, especially the reaction from Frustrated 3. I don't, you know, after we put it out, we look at the reaction that you got from Frustrated 3, and we'll continue to grow and look at examining other places. Which is, I had a young lady from Argentina hit me up,
Mm-hmm.
and she's interested. She's doing a documentary called Erasing Dad, and she watched Frustrated 2, and she wanted if she can interview me and get some information. But she shared some information that when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, she was going out to Ecuador, Argentina, and these places implementing the American child support system there. So they have actually built prisons for men in Ecuador and Argentina for those who can't pay child support. They built prison and using this model, the American model, for their child support system, because it produces exorbitant amounts of money. In the States, it's a $500 billion a year industry.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bigger than the porn industry, man. So they're over there implementing those same that same system over there in Latin America. So if we do a 4, I want to educate brothers, still be careful when you travel over there, because that kind of system that we have here, they're implementing that over in Latin America, South America. So you have to really be careful when you travel abroad and think, you know, I'm gonna drop a seed and just bounce. It's not gonna work like that in the future.
Let me ask you about Brazil, because a lot of brothers are wanting to go to Brazil, you know, because Brazil has a high, you know, African diaspora there. What are the child support laws in Brazil?
Well, as I know right now, you know, they don't have any social programs. They don't have those social programs. If you make sure, especially for what you make sure you're kind of out on your own, a little bit. I don't know right now if that's changing or not, since we did the Frustrated 1. I don't know if those laws and stuff are changing right now, but that information will be available in Frustrated 3.
Okay. Let me ask you about this, because I know you probably get this a lot. The brothers who have went to Brazil, and for those who maybe have not seen Frustrated 1, I want to go back to this particular scene, and you had to know that somebody was going to talk. There was a big light-skinned fat fucker. I don't know if you, it was a lady, and she was complaining about how educated she was. She had to be about 300 pounds. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the young lady. You know, she came on, she did the interview, and I appreciate her very much for coming on and doing that. So I'm not going to bash her on that level, because it was challenging for me to get American women here to speak up. I tried to add balance to it. Her and the other young lady that came on, and that's what I like. I like to add balance to the situation. So I show one part, and I wanted to show the female part of it. But I know you're talking about, but that's more the modern woman today, and those are their views. So that's why a lot of people, you know, I didn't want to bash her on her size or what that may be, but more for content of what she was speaking about. But those are the views of modern women that you see today.
Well, I mean, and I'm not trying to like make fun of her or nothing. Like, well, okay, I ain't trying to be rude like that. But here's the problem: when you go to chick, like, you know, I live in Poland now. I don't know if you know that. You know, I live in Poland.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, I do.
So I live in Poland. I haven't been to many places as you have, but I could never imagine a woman that, and she wasn't necessarily ugly, but a woman that big that is demanding what she's demanding, you would never find that in Poland. Like, fat women over here are like, go in the corner. You're fat. What are you talking about? Like, fat girls in Poland, Ukraine, you can't even pass out flyers in the mall. You know what I mean? And it's amazing how a woman that was that big was shitting on, and she was shitting on black men going to Brazil, talking about, oh, those girls are poor, those girls are prostitutes. So I guess what I want to know is, what do you think American black women, how do they view Brazilian women, in your opinion?
Well, see, in Brazil, the women keep themselves up because they compete for men. They compete. Over here, it's kind of, you don't see that. For me, I don't see women aggressively out there competing for that by staying in shape, staying in the gym, watch what you eat, you know, and watching. For me, you know, for looking at her, that's health issues. You see women that big and all that stuff. You start looking at health issues and stuff. So over there, they're more competitive when it comes to finding and competing for men. And then to me, that's the biggest difference over in Brazil and in America over here in dealing with that relationship issue.
Mm-hmm. When you first got to Brazil, your first time, if you can remember, do you remember what year it was? And what did you think about when you first got there? Like, what was your experience?
I think it was 2007, 2007. 2007. Oh, I lost my goddamn mind. I'm not gonna lie. I lost my goddamn mind. Man, I had no idea this was going on out here. I mean, so many beautiful women, and we stayed in Copacabana.
Okay.
Which is right across the street from the beach. So you had access to the beach. It's not like here. You know, I live in New York, man. To go to the beach, you got to drive here. You got to pay for parking. You got to pay to go to the beach and all that shit. The beach, access to the beach was right across the street. So we were able to just to go right across the street to the beach and see all this shit walking around. And they were friendly. They'd come up to you, oi, to the bank, kiss you on the cheek. Mm-hmm. And that's how they introduce themselves. Oh, where you from, America? I'm like, yeah, you know, where the hot spot at? Oh, the club over here. You want to go party? You want to go dancing? And they was like real friendly and open and receptive. And I was like, man. And me and my older brother, me and my older brother went out there, man, and we lost our damn mind. We lost our mind. When we got back home, my brother called me up 3 days later. He was like, man, I don't feel good. So I was like, what's wrong, man? Your stomach, you know, what's wrong with you? Like, man, I'm depressed. I said, what's wrong? He's like, man, I got to get back to Brazil. I've been dealing with this shit here, man, with old girl. I got to go, man. And we fucked around like shit. We went right back. We went right back.
Oh.
Went right back. Turned around. I think we went back like maybe a month and a half later. My brother's like, yo, I'm depressed, man. I got to go. We got to get back out here. And we went back, man. I've been going ever since. And turned my best friend on, man. I took my best friend out there. Mm-hmm. He actually started crying when it's time to leave. He had
real tears?
Yeah, he had tears coming out of his eyes. Man. I said, it's going to be okay, man. We get to come back, man. He's like, Dad, this shit hurt, man. This shit hurt. So I started seeing the effect that it had. And then you can talk to any brother that's been out there, and they tell you when it's time for them to come back on the plane, man, they resent that shit, man, coming back, and they know the grind and what they got to deal with here. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of totally different out there. So the first time, man, I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the landscape. It's a beautiful country. I enjoyed the landscape, enjoyed the food. And I enjoyed the women, man. They were real friendly. They treated me like a man. I had no argument. That's for me, I found heaven. I said, this is what they was talking about in that book. This heaven right here.
And shout out to your brother, man. Your brother actually emailed me a few months ago. He's like, yo, I'm Al Grease's brother. I'm assuming that was your brother you emailed me.
Yeah.
He actually, you know what? He said, man, how can I donate to you? I said, man, wait till I put the Negro Manosphere up and we can talk about that. But your brother's a real cool man. He emailed me. He's actually trying to donate to the website before I was talking about it before I actually built it. And so, yeah, I got to get in contact with him, man, and shoot him because I got to subscribe him to the site. But, yeah, he reached out to me. And I don't know, did you introduce your brother to my content or he already was watching it?
You know what? My brother found you on YouTube, and he hit me up. He said, man, you got to listen to this brother. So when he sent me the link, I said, oh, man, that's my man. I've been listening to him for a while. He said, you know him? I said, yeah, man, that's Oshay, man. I could, because shout out to my brother, man. My older brother, he took me in. My older brother was in the Navy. So he was in the Navy for a while. And when I got out of high school, he had moved to Atlanta. And he bought a house in Atlanta, man. He told me, come out of New York, man, come into Atlanta. So when I moved down there with Atlanta with him, man, and looking, you know, and started running the streets and messing with different kind of bras and all that stuff, my brother would always sit me down, man, and try to spew that, you know, hey, man, listen, man, you need to get on point, you know, this and that. And I wouldn't listen to him, man. I was hard-headed. You know how little brothers are, man, running the streets until I found the right one, but the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she worked my ass over. And my brother was like a good cut man, good corner man that you got to have, man. He said, I'm telling you, man, you need to travel the world, man. This is kind of bullshit you did. you deal with here, man. I was in the Navy. I traveled to the Philippines. I traveled over the world, and you don't get this kind of treatment when you travel over the world, man. So my brother been schooling me from day one, man. And when I decided to do film and go into film school, and I did Frustrated One, he was real supportive, man. So my brother's a good dude. He had me on this path a while back, man, when I was kind of fresh out of high school and going through college, man. And he stayed on me, man, and make sure I stayed on point and not fuck around with the wrong broad.
Right.
With the wrong broad. And when I did, man, he was good corner man, good cut man. You know what I mean? When I couldn't see them jabs coming, getting cut over both eyes. She was whooping my ass. I didn't see it coming, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No, man, my older brother had to come get me, man. This chick was working my ass, so I couldn't see the blows coming.
Oh, man.
And my older brother's like, come here, man. You're taking too many licks. You ain't got to take these licks.
You do the towel and I'm going to put your ass.
I was screaming for somebody, throw the towel. Throw the damn towel. Throw the towel.
Hey, man, we all there. Let's take an intervention, man. Hold on. Let's do this real quick, you guys. All right, listen. We got the master himself, a world-renowned known Al Greeze in the building. I need you guys to like the video, okay? I also need you guys to go over to Greeze Films. I'm gonna go back now and see, because it won't let me put my name. Maybe I'm gonna try to go to I put the donate button in here for you guys. I'm actually gonna drop some money in there right now, but for whatever reason, maybe it's my my Google thing. It's not letting me enter my name. Let me see here. What we can do. So you guys like the video, man? Okay, I need to get 26 more people to go and like the current video. What happens when you do that? You help promote this stream and you help promote Al Greasy. But let's see, the value is required. Damn, Al. Okay, I'm in your. So I'm on the Greeze Films thing, and I'm trying to put my name in here, and for whatever reason, it won't let me put the amount. So, have you been going through that issue, Al?
I don't have it here. I got it up on my phone right now, and it's working fine.
Work fine? Okay, let me try it on my phone. So you guys go ahead and do that. All right, and we're going to continue the interview. So, do you know anybody that moved there? I'm not talking about like that you knew that lived in the States and they moved there that you knew previously, like you know, your brother. Do you know anybody that was in America that moved there? Not you like meeting them when you got there and they're from America. Like, do you know anybody who moved to Brazil besides like Charles Tyler that you met before?
A couple of brothers, Philly McFly, who moved there. He got married, moved to Brazil. A couple of brothers hit me up. Like I said, hit me up online and say, hey man, you know, I'm moving to Brazil now. Charles is the latest one that, you know, had the effect from a Frustrated One, decided, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm moving there. He found the love of his life. I'm out. So a lot of cats I meet when I'm in transit in Brazil, who shared their interest in moving to Brazil while I was there, and then going back and forth. So I've met a couple of brothers while I was there who recognized me from Frustrated, and hey man, I'm moving out here. I'm just out here trying to find, you know, apartment and locations and stuff. So that's why, you know, I want to put that information in Frustrated 3 to make it a lot easier for brothers who decide that they want to, you know, relocate to Brazil. Okay, and then let me do this. Okay, so it does work on my phone. So maybe my desktop is tripping, but if you guys want to donate to Al Greeze, definitely you can do it on your phone. I'm about to donate $25 right now to get it started. So you much appreciated, brother. You guys go ahead and do that also, because we need brothers like this. I know the question that always comes out is, all right, I want to move to Brazil, but damn, how do these guys support themselves? You know, the Mr. Johns and the Philly McFlys, and you know, because they gotta, you know, because you can't go out there and work. You're used to American money. Well, what are these brothers typically doing? Well, part of it is too, your money out there quadruples. So for every American dollar you bring out there, it quadruples out there. One way a lot of brothers are taking advantage of it is actually trading their money online. You know, they do a lot of trading and stuff online, especially just with the currency, because you come in with American dollar and that fluctuates. So for every dollar, you bring, you know, 4 times as much. So a lot of them are doing a lot of training online. A lot of them are looking to do a lot of online work. So I don't want to give away too much because that's part of the information we're going to have in Frustrated 3. How you can go out there and make money online and introduce you to brothers who are actually doing it right now, who are making money online, to show you how you can make a living in Brazil.
Right. And the thing is, shout out to Al Greeze, because Al Greeze has, and him and Charles Tyler, they have a network. Up to Mr. John, I've seen him, you know, he's been there for 30 plus years, has his own, I believe, like apartment rental business.
Yeah.
He's also a New Yorker like you, from New York. You got, you know, Charles from Philly. They have a bunch of brothers out there that are already set up, you know, ready to help you guys. If you want to get over there and how to do it. They like, you gotta, this is not like, you know, you moving to Poland like I was moving and didn't know nobody here. You have brothers already that's been there multiple times, know how the currency works. They can get you guys set up, okay? And this is why you need to watch Frustrated 3 and go over there and send some of that money over there to Al Greeze, okay? Because like I said, we got to keep supporting brothers. Let's do this. And I might take some Poker's Daddy, I see you, player. Let me do this. I want to take some actual questions from the chat. We have 164 watching. I see Malachi. I see Brother Howard Jones. Thank you for your support, brother. He's another good brother, man, that does similar work to you, Al. So might be a good thing to hook up with him. So let's get the likes up, you guys. I need 13 more people to like the video. We have 162 watching. I will actually take questions to Mr. Greeze right now if you guys want to ask them in the super chat. So basically, not in the super chat, but in the actual questions. And while we're waiting for that, Al, let me ask you this. As far as going to film school, right? And I also know that you have great experience. What is your suggestions to brothers who are looking to get into the documentary career lifestyle? They want to be the next Al Greeze, produce short films. What do you have to suggest maybe to people who want to get into this kind of lifestyle or kind of project? How should they go about it and things of this nature?
Wow. That's tough. The key is staying productive.
Okay.
You don't want to learn a trade and can't use it because you look at the funding of it, because it can be expensive. It can get expensive. So you want to take on projects that you know you can handle and that you can complete. And don't get caught up between how much money you've made off of it and being successful in creating a product. You know, a lot of people get confused with it. It's, oh man, but you did Frustrated, but you didn't get this much off of it. So it's not a successful product. I said, no, it's successful because I set out to do it and I have completed it and introduced it to the market. Mm-hmm. That's success right there. So reward for success is something totally different. Being rewarded for it and actually completing and being successful in completing something. So mm-hmm. Always take on something you can handle, that you can complete, that you can bring to the market. Whatever topic you want to talk about, whatever it is that you want to talk about, but just make sure you can complete it and bring it to the market. Because you could look at Hollywood, there's a lot of movies that have been made that never made it to the marketplace. That they just dumped and crashed for whatever reason. So to be successful in this, take on projects and topics that you can handle and that you can bring to the marketplace.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let me also, ask you this, if I can. What other projects besides Frustrated? I mean, are there any other things you work, like personal, movies? What is the extent of Al Greaze's productions that he can do?
We're gonna be in Atlanta in May. We're doing a reality show in May, at the end of May, early June. I don't want to get too much of that away, but it's not just documentaries we deal with. We're doing a reality show, and I'm a writer too, screenplay writer. So I'm working on a sitcom that I'm putting together as well, related to the topics of like Frustrated Frustrated 1 and 2, something along those lines. I don't want to give too much away, but we're going to be working on a little sitcom that I'm putting together as well.
Okay. And you are actually not only a really good screenwriter, but definitely, man, you're a good writer, period. You actually have written several articles. I wish I can get one of them things over on the Black Juggernaut, the Negro Manosphere. Actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you actually have a login to the site, don't you? I don't know if you've ever used it.
To your site?
I think you do. Let me look here. Let me look at the users on the Negro Manosphere and see if. Oh no, you don't. No, you don't. I thought you did, but you don't yet. But yeah, man, we would love to get you over, man, at the Negro Manosphere to write one of those awesome blogs you have. We have. I don't know if you've heard of some of these writers we have, but you know who Alan Roger Curry is, right?
Yes.
Okay, he writes every week. Obviously, you know Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
He writes every week.
Shout out to Obsidian. I did his show a couple of times. Good brother.
Yeah. We have Donovan Sharp, Ron Wills. I don't know if you know who Ron Wills is. It's somebody we love to promote your stuff. You got a lot of good brothers over there. We're trying to do what you're doing in documentary on a website. So you have some really good articles. Talk about that. You wrote a really, really powerful one, and I shared it on my fan page before I got shut down. It was about single mothers, voiding single mothers.
Well, the dangers of dating them.
Okay, talk about that a little bit if you can.
Yeah, the dangers of dating them. And doing the research for Frustrated 2, I interviewed a family court judge who explained the law of equitable estoppel, which means if you date a single mom and the relationship comes to an end, and you've played the father figure, played the role of one of her children or multiple children, whatever the case may be, she can take you to court and get child support for that, even though you're not the biological father. And even if she's receiving child support, she can still get child support from you.
Wow.
And that's that's the big danger, because now you're being forced to take on another man's responsibility because you came in and you played the role for a little bit, and you said, well, the relationship is over. The system doesn't work like that. They said, no, you can continue doing what you're doing, even though you don't have a relationship with the mother anymore. So that was one of the big dangers. And what you sacrifice and what you give up to help someone else raise somebody else's kids, to help take on another man's responsibility, you kind of auction off your future a little bit. Because things that you could do as a single man, you come in and you date a woman with 2 kids and you take on that responsibility, you kind of put your future on hold and stuff that you can be doing to better yourself, especially at an early age when you should be grinding, you should be out there increasing your value to the marketplace. And by dating a single mom and taking on that responsibility, you kind of hurt yourself in the long haul. So we kind of introduce bring out some of those issues and explain to the young man, when you date women with single kids, you're putting yourself at risk for.
You talked about this on Frustrated 2. Let me ask you this. So let me give you this scenario. I'm dating a woman who has a kid. I've been with her for like 3 or 4 years. I say it's not working out. She can actually take me to the courts and sue me for child support. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, she can. Under the law of equitable estoppel, she can take you back to court and say, well, listen, he's been helping little man with his homework. He's been there. He took him to get a haircut. He's done this kind of thing for him, and I want that support to continue. And the judge may force you to continue paying for, ask you for pay money to continue supporting little man, even though it's not your kid. The judge knows it's not your kid. Even if she's receiving child support, you still could be forced to pay child support.
Now, interesting. You also interviewed, I believe, situations where there were men who found out that they were not even the father biologically. They were tricked.
Doesn't matter.
The guy still had to pay child support.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Paternity fraud is not a crime. Unfortunately, it's not a crime. I don't know why it's not a crime. Like I said, every other fraud case is a crime. You cannot commit fraud and not be punished for it, except for paternity fraud. And one of the weirdest cases that I actually took off, I think it took off the news thing there, was that kid in Arizona where he was raped by his teacher and found out she was pregnant. She went to jail, but she was pregnant and had a daughter. And when he turned 18, he got to pay child support. How are you paying child support for somebody that raped you?
Whoa! Are you serious?
Yeah, the Arizona case. It's in the document. Yeah, the Arizona case. He's paying child support. He's forced to pay child support for somebody who actually raped him. Now, can you imagine if that was flipped? That's crazy. So, you know, I just try to educate young men and brothers on the dangers of that. You know, when you're going out there dating and how serious the situation can be and what you're giving up, your future.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let me ask you, Mr. Greeze. Now, a lot of people, we have some haters, unfortunately. Not necessarily against, you, but you have a lot of, people who are hating against, black men going to Brazil. I mean, there's a documentary called City of God, which was a really good movie, talked about, those things that happen in the favelas. People say Brazil is dangerous. Those foreign women are just trying to use you for a passport. They're only nice to you because you're American. You have American money.
What's the difference in here? It's the same shit here. Shit, name me one American city that's not dangerous. Name me one.
Mm-hmm.
Name me one situation where women here don't try to use men for personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
For one case, I can't. It's the same shit here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit here.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, when I hear that nonsense, man, I can't stop and laugh, because you look at the situation. I hear, oh, they got AIDS is running rampant over there. You got a high AIDS rate in DC.
Whew.
You got a high AIDS rate in DC.
Yeah, I used to live in DC, so I know.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about. So I think a lot of them use that to discourage brothers from actually going, because, like I heard a sister tell me, well, ain't no good men here. Yeah, they getting on a plane, they leaving. They getting on a plane leaving, and those ain't thugs that's leaving. You're not losing thugs who criminal records, who can't get passport, who can't travel. These are men with means.
Yeah.
These are men with means that get on the plane and travel out there that's leaving. So I don't want to hear that shit about ain't no good men here. They leaving. They leaving. They're not fooling with your bullshit. They leaving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You change your values. This ain't working. We got to try something different.
So here's the thing, Brother Greeze. Charles Tyler talks about this. These black women, and I'm not saying all of them, because I have a African American black woman. I moved her here. She lives here with me in Poland. So we can't say all, but it's a damn sure a whole lot. Men like, I'm not saying you in particular, but let's just put you in the group. You're an educated brother. You're obviously super, super, super intelligent, because you found a way to make a market for yourself with what you had. You're what we would consider a black male who's a builder in the community. I would say the same thing about Charles Tyler. Men like me, when we're coming up and, trying to assert ourselves, a lot of times women or black women are not interested in men like us. And then they kind of neglect you. Then when you have built yourself up enough and move away, here come the Ebony articles. Here come the Essence articles. What do these black women want? And do they want, these good black men who have the means, and then they want them once they've left? Or what's the problem with them? Because they
don't want them when they're young. They want them after they fuck up. See, after they went in there and produced 2-3 kids, now they want you to come in there and kind of save them. They want you to come in there and say, "Oh yeah, I got you, baby. Come save you." No, it don't work like that. And you see a lot of brothers. I'm not bitter. I love black women. The reason why I go to Brazil has the largest populations of Africans outside of Africa. So when you go there, I see me there, just in a different context and a different setting. So a lot of them want you to take on their bullshit early, and then when you get successful, because when you're not successful, no, they don't want you. But when you become successful, here they come. Here they come, and a lot of brothers, you know, I'm good. I'm good. You didn't want me when you had me.
Right.
Now when I'm successful, now here you go. Here you go. Now you need somebody to take on Ray Ray and Pookie and them. No, that ain't gonna happen. With me, that ain't gonna happen. I don't have any kids. I don't have a desire to have kids right now. But I'm not gonna take on another man's responsibility because you done fucked up. And now you realize that I'm a good man and you want me to come in and step in and fill that void for you. That's not gonna happen.
Let me ask you this. Have you, I mean, I know that your business requires you to be in the United States and have connections. Have you ever considered yourself moving to Brazil?
Oh, and then that's my long range goals. I have my short range, I have my long range goals. Probably in the next 10 years or so, that would probably be my permanent residence in the next 10 years or so.
And what are your short-term goals that you would like to get accomplished?
Well, first one is get Frustrated 3 done.
Okay.
That's so short. But to get the projects that I have now, my the sitcom I want to get done. I have the reality show that we're doing in June. That's going to get done, and get Frustrated 3 done within the next year or two. So those are my short range.
Let's talk about some numbers. I mean, I don't know if you mind me talking about it, but I want to know, like, how much does it cost?
You said numbers?
Yeah, because I would like to know how much it costs to produce, because, you know, people don't know what effort you put into making, because you know the documentary, you just watch it, you don't think about all the work it took to produce it, all the funding and stuff. How much did it cost you to produce Frustrated 1 and Frustrated 2?
Let's see, Frustrated 1. Each one cost me less than $100,000 to do. Cost me less than $100,000 to do. Can't give you exact. I don't have the exact figure right now because you got to consider post. Post is what kill you, you know. And then you add music and post and all that stuff comes into play. And paying for. I took individuals with me to Brazil to go film. So we took a crew and packed up some stuff, and that's costly. But I had a good crew that worked with me, and then they tried to kill my pockets. Frustrated 2 was a lot cheaper because we didn't travel outside the country. We filmed that here within the States. I think we filmed from Connecticut all the way down to Georgia. So we stopped in spots in between, Richmond, Virginia, and these places like that. And you know what's crazy? What I found out when it was in Virginia, Commonwealth states, when they lock up your son or daughter, young kids, they lock them up. They make the parents pay child support to the system for incarcerating your child.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that because the lady kept explaining to me that, you know, she was receiving child support for her son, and the state was taking the child support money from her. I'm like, that don't make any sense. How are they taking child support money from you? She says, oh, my son was locked up, and when your son's locked up, they make you pay child support to the state for warehousing your child. Wow. So that was great. So we filmed from Connecticut, started in Connecticut, and we went all the way down to Georgia, stopped in North Carolina, Virginia, and these places, and we were doing the interviews and stuff. Yeah, so that was a lot cheaper because we didn't go out the country.
Okay, understandable.
But still, it's all in post. Post is what really gets you when you're filming, because it got to be edited right, color corrections, and all that stuff that takes place. So you got to make sure you have a nice little budget for the post.
Okay. And let me ask you this: I know Frustrated 2 is available, but how did Frustrated 1 make any money?
Well, Frustrated 1 made money in the beginning because when we released the trailer, the sales shot up because we were selling on Amazon. Once again, we used that outlet. We were selling on Amazon, and the numbers shot up. And I was watching the numbers, and all of a sudden the numbers declined. The numbers just stopped. And I was like, damn, that was fast. I don't know what happened. You know, we did some film festival stuff, and it's like, wow, what happened? And I got a call one day. Somebody told me, yo, man, I just seen Frustrated on World Star. WorldStar. How the hell would shit get on WorldStar? And when I went on the internet, man, people were stealing the content. They were taking the content and they were posting it on WorldStar, YouTube, and the shit was popping up like wildfire. And at that time, I had to go to Google to fight Google to have that stuff taken down. And Google wanted me to prove it was my work, how you have this, and how we know it's you. And that now that's changed because of the situation with the music business got involved when people were posting other people's songs. So it's a lot easier now to get Google to remove that, and Google will tell you they'll remove your channel if you put up content that's not there. So in the beginning, Frustrated didn't make a lot of money because people were stealing the content, and that was very challenging.
Wow. So it got on WorldStar. Okay.
It got WorldStar, it got YouTube, and like 30 channels. People had it up like, oh, I had to actually pay somebody just to sit there to go search through YouTube to find out where the shit is, where it's popping up at, and fight them to get it to take it down. But now it's a lot easier because you could just flag the video and say, hey, get them to take it down, and they changed that model on that.
Shout out to the Angry Man. He just dropped in a $10 super chat. He dropped one last night, so appreciate him. You know, Al, I really don't have too many more things to ask in this particular interview, but I would love for you to be able to come back. You know, I'm a big fan of your work. It's
not a problem, man.
It's amazing how things happen, man. This is a true story. Before I was even YouTubing, I started in like March 2015, but I was watching Charles Tyler around that time, binge watching his. And then I started the channel, and then I found Al Greeze. And then like the last 8 or 9 months, then my channel blew up, my other channel. And then, and now I'm talking to this guy who I was watching Frustrated 1 when I had like, 0 subscribers, man. It's funny how life works out. But nonetheless, man, I really, 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 really appreciate, all the work you've done. Not just, for being consistent in what you've been doing, but, trying to give, Negroes a voice. And let's be honest, man, niggas is cheap. I hate to say it, man, niggas is cheap. They don't like to support. They don't, they like to complain, but they don't like to put the dollars up for it. It's hard doing shit for black men. I'm gonna just tell y'all like this, man. Al Greeze has enough talent. He could do documentaries for the white manosphere. I'm pretty sure, there was a documentary called The Red Pill. Somebody like Greeze could do that shit. Easy, But there are people who try to stick true to what you're going through. And a lot of times, a lot of black men don't care. Listen, even if you don't have a few bucks to spend, tell somebody about Al Greeze, okay? Tell somebody about Greeze Films, okay? Because you never know who you tell, that person may be able to tell 1,000 people and change their life. And that's the whole point we're trying to get at, you guys. And it's about supporting black business. It's about supporting black men who are doing something. This man has cameras. He has, I'm sure, all kind of IMAX. That shit costs money to do, okay? And you heard the man say he took it to BET. They didn't want to hear it played. They didn't want to see it. He took it to TV One. They said no. That means you have to make an economy for brothers like Al Greeze to continue his work, okay? So I'm going to drop the Amazon link. You guys support it and watch the video. It's Amazon. It's the Frustrated 2, right?
Yeah, Frustrated 2.
Okay, let me do that while I'm here. Because I want you brothers to watch this because, you guys, you spend money, going to the movies and shit. And
it's $5.99, man. Cheaper than the movie theater. Plus, Frustrated 1 would be up over the weekend. If I don't get it done today, it'll be done tomorrow. It'll be a link on Greeze Films page. You can watch that for free. It's on the house. Okay,
and let me do this here. This one is Mama's Baby Daddy's Maybe. Let me try to get to the one that's the actual. Well, shit. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get to the one that's actually okay, so what I'll do is here's a DVD version, and it's $19.99 if you guys want to ship to your house. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you do, the link is also on Greeze Films page too. The one that you could watch right now, $5.99. You could watch that right now.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead. That's right. That's where I got it last time. Let me go do that here real quick. So.
Yeah, and the trailer should be there too. All that stuff is up. You can watch that right there.
Okay, Frustrated document. Watch Frustrated. Okay, so you guys, let me drop the link. So, and I'm saying you guys need to watch this, man, because this is really, 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 really a good film. And I watched Frustrated 2, watched Frustrated 1, and then he'll have the link on the site. Go here to watch the other one if you want to watch it for 24 hours or 48 hours, right? Is that what it is?
It takes 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, something like that. So you have it for a day or two. Go support it. Is there anything else that you want to say, Brother Greeze?
Preach. Calypso. Organ.
Calypso Orchid. All right, man, once again, thank you for coming on, man. It's been
I had to do that, man. I had to do that. Hey, listen, thanks for having me, man. Anytime, brother. Appreciate it, man. Just hit me up. Let me know. Like I said, I'm scheduled, man. I work on a tight schedule, so we could work together, man. Fit something that I have no problem doing the show, man. Thanks for having me. Okay,
and also, you guys, we have that. Let me say one thing more about Brother Greeze. Brother Greeze is, as I've been saying, what he's doing is dynamic. Black male media is real. Okay, brothers like Al Greeze are really paving the way. Now you have the things like Negro Manosphere. In the next 5 to 10 years, companies like BET are going to have to start saying yes. Okay, they're gonna have to start saying yes because you brothers are starting to support it more often, and we're doing the right things. We're getting the donations. We're not. A lot of brothers are out there, getting particular things, and not using the money for what they said they're gonna use. Brothers like Al Greeze are proven. If he say he's gonna do something, he does. He's a professional. All right, this ain't one of these niggas that's just trying to say I'm gonna do a documentary. You never seen it. No, he is a professional. Okay, so when you support, Brother Greeze, you support professional shit. And by the way, last thing, has Oshay ever addressed her in her videos? Yes. If you are a Patreon subscriber of mine, I just did a video called "You Cannot Be a Weave Head and Be Pro-Black." All right. Weave heads can never be pro-black. You have to be, I just dropped that video on my Patreon for my subscribers today. You have to have the minimum of a $5 pledge a month to see that video. So once again, if you guys want to see that video, weave heads can never be pro-black. It's on my Patreon page. But once again, that's for those who support the Negro Manosphere. The minimum is $5 a month. Like I said, that goes to pay the writers. So if you guys are on Patreon, you want to go see the video that I have, Weave Heads Can Never Be Pro-Black. I'm posting a new video on there every day. It's private videos only. So once again, go to the Patreon, negromanosphere.com to see my privates. I'm moving all of my classics from my other YouTube page over there. All right. So once again, those of you who are already subscribed, you can see that video. It's called Weave Heads Can Never Be Pro-Black. Mac, I'm gonna hit you up and call you tonight, and that's my boy. I'm gonna send it to him for the free, probably. He's my nigga. So, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate you and everything else. And Al, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you. And good night, you guys. Matter of fact, we'll be back. Actually, Obsidian and me are having a hangout in another hour, so I gotta be back again. Yeah. You got me working like a slave, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Thanks for introducing me to your audience, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. We had 162 viewers today. And keep in mind, this is my second channel. Only 7,000. I'm probably going to post this on my main channel so they can watch it too, which has over 37,000 subscribers. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.
Thank you, brother.